Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. At San Diego Comic-Con, Hasbro dropped the trailer for Transformers EarthSpark, and I'm going to give it a review. Now, as you know, we got our episode drops in 3 drops. We had the first one, the second one, and we're getting a third and final episode drop for season 1, giving us somewhere between 22 and 26 episodes, depending on how you count the episodes, because not even Paramount counts them the same way, depending on how you pay for them. But we have got the final 7 or 8 episodes dropping tomorrow, July 28th. So we are all excited for that. I hope to get you my reviews as soon as possible. But this review of the trailer does contain spoilers for the final 7 episodes of Season 1. So if you don't want those spoilers, you can click away now. You can go check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of Flying Sparks, a story about found family, alien interaction, government bureaucracy, and what happens when strange families form. So go check out those links below the video. Now, Transformers EarthSpark, the trailer. Let's get the really big spoiler out of the way. We see Grimlock in the trailer. He's in a junkyard with, Jawbreaker, and they're goofing around with the cars. Jawbreaker's having the time of his life, and Grimlock looks pretty as happy as Grimlock ever looks. Grimlock is in his G1 alt mode. No, not alt mode. The dinosaur says alt mode. So his G1 base mode. And it'll be good to see old Grimlock again. We get a picture of Megatron in modern day lighting. I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. And he is clearly having an emotional moment. The stuff is flying everywhere. He's clearly not happy. Then we get a picture of Megatron in flashback mode. That artistic style that these shows tend to use. I think it started with Prime, where they switch art styles to a very oil painting, high quality, classy art style. They get one flat image of that, and then they pan over it while they're telling backstories. It's the Transformers version of sepia tone for flashbacks. So we get one image of a very threatening, menacing, I think it's Megatron. It's all dark, but not many mechs are that big or have that fusion cannon. So we see Megatron threatening somebody with a fusion cannon, done in that flashback tone, so we get more backstory, more history there. Bumblebee is back with Optimus, which is not much of a surprise. We were all expecting that. Then there's the actual new stuff we haven't seen before. It looks like Robbie and Mo are getting upgrades of their own. They appear to be able to generate light-based weapons from their gauntlets, which is interesting. It looks like I don't know what they're limited to, but it looks like Robbie has a very interesting shield, and his shield is very interesting. It's easily as tall as his body. It's an actual functional shield of the kind of the size at least the Romans would use. But its shape is very, very interesting. Its shape looks like a stylized dragon's head, which I find very interesting. I've always had an interest in dragons. Now, this could be like a Predacon head, or it could be something based on Grimlock's head, but no, the angles seem to be a bit wrong for that. It really does look like a stylized dragon's head. And then Mo has a short sword that generates from her gauntlet, and we see them fighting various things together. And again, we're raised with the question, do the Maltos have superpowers, or is this just standard Transformers playing fast and loose with physics? For instance, in an early episode, we saw Optimus Prime crouching on top of a small town brick building. Now, that building was clearly of the structural integrity of a building built in 1895, right before the Industrial Revolution. Clearly, there's no way that building could hold him up. So we know for certain that the creators are playing fast and loose with the physics of Earth-based materials. But we've also seen Robbie, Mo, and Malto Sr. showing fantastic feats of superhuman strength. So is this implying that the Maltos have superpowers? Or are they pretenders? Or is this just, again, Hasbro having no respect for physics? I don't know. I am looking forward to finding out. The trailer does seem to focus on Nightshade quite a bit, which I found interesting. We get to see a lot of new battle moves. To absolutely no one's surprise, the mad scientist is back, causing problems for everybody, and we get what is clearly a space bridge scene, which is interesting because the only space bridge that we know of was destroyed. However, this, while not guaranteed, is a very, very logical place for the story to go, reconnecting Earth with Cybertron, and the inevitable complications that will cause for the Autobot-Decepticon divide. Because presumably Megatron's agreement with Optimus was predicated upon the concept that they were stuck on Earth. And we will get to see how Megatron will react when the primary defining feature of his peace agreement, the undeniable fact that they're stuck here, is taken out of the picture. And I just wanted to take a moment to look at, I might even do a separate video on this, to look at some of the mysteries that we left off with the last episode drop. First off, we have a very cheesy scene where the show lampshades Dorothy Malto's trust and faith in Megatron's change of spark, how he did the work, he changed. And I thought that was just too cringe to be just cringe, that it had to be them lampshading that Mom Malto has some misunderstandings or rose-colored tinted glasses when it comes to Megatron's actual goals. So there's how serious is Megatron about this peace and cooperation versus what were his stated goals. He wanted to prevent the extinction of the Cybertronians on Earth, and his behavior is in line with that, but the moment the ground bridge opens, turning his back on Optimus and his human friends is also in line with that stated goal. So if Megatron suddenly begins behaving contrary to what would be good for the Maltos, would that really be a betrayal of what he actually said as opposed to a betrayal of what Dorothy thought he meant? And of course, we can't overlook the fact that Ravage, after Megatron vouched for him, is still loose in the ghost space. We have the humans using the technology that this really kind of irks me. The humans are using a technology that was Megatron's personal pet project in G1, the mind chips. But instead of Megatron developing them for use on the humans are suddenly developing them for use on the Decepticons, which is utterly ridiculous given the technology difference there and the number of years that you have to prepare this kind of thing and experience. But let's not get into that. We have the brain chips out there controlling various Cybertronians. And we have, of course, the Mad Doctor's plans. We have the question, does Agent Glasses actually know about the Malto children existing? Because from all the clues that I've seen, the junior of the ghost officers actually knows that the Terrans exist and has been covering for them to the best of his ability, which is perfectly in line with his stated goals of bringing Decepticons to justice. Then we have that casual name drop of the Corvid vampire shapeshifter in the Philippines, and the fact that Bumblebee recognizes them as being real creatures. And of course, the big glaring question of where and why did the Terrans originate in the first place, and what do they eat, and why did they need the presence of their siblings in order to be able to gather energy from the waters of Earth? I don't know. Normally I would do a whole video about this in of itself, but the episodes drops presumably tonight at midnight. So due to one thing and the other, I'm probably not going to have enough time to do that mysteries before the episodes drop, but I probably will do one at the end of the season. All right, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Are the Terrans draining the energy of their human siblings? What are Megatron's true motivations, and were he to turn on Optimus, would that be an actual betrayal of the Maltos? Has Agent Glasses been secretly covering for the Terrans this entire time? And do the Maltos have superpowers? Hopefully we will get some answers with the new episodes drops tonight. So I look forward to seeing the rest of you around. Hit that like and subscribe button. Go get yourself a copy of my book, Flying Sparks, and peace out, my wonderful viewers.
Drake McCarty should have died when the flash flood shattered his leg, but something defied the very laws of nature to shield him from the force of the storm. Sworn to keep a secret he doesn't understand, Drake is swept up in a world where trees walk, mountains dance, and stars sing of war. Flying Sparks, 100,000 words of science fantasy adventure set in the Dying Embers universe. Two worlds collide in this science fiction novel, available on Indiegogo for the month of July 2023.